GodLike Esports came into the BGIS 2025 semifinals with a point to prove, and they delivered big time. In the wildcard stage, they emerged as the table toppers after the 6 matches accumulating 20 position points and 57 eliminations. The Punk-led brigade began their wildcard campaign with an impressive 28-point chicken dinner. Now, this strong performance in the wildcard stage helped them secure a spot in the semifinals after they had a mediocre run in the quarterfinals. And in the semifinals, after 12 matches of sheer dominance, they locked in the second place overall with 107 points and a chicken dinner, securing a direct spot in the grand finals. Now, this was the vintage GodLike, back in form, back where they belong. But how do they actually plan and execute their rotations and fights? Today we are gonna have a complete breakdown of it. We will be breaking down the 13th round of the semi-finals week 1, in which GodLike proved why they are one of the best teams of India. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy, and let's get straight into it. So the game begins. The 13th round, it's on Irangal. The flight path goes from Milta Power to the north of Quarry, and GodLike takes a drop in the school and apartments. The circle forms and it's central, slightly favoring the eastern side of the map. Now GodLike were already inside the circle, so they didn't need to rotate early. They took their time looting the entire apartment and the compounds nearby. Now the first 4v4 battle broke out around 5 minutes into the game in Gatka, a battle between Wobble Gaming and Team Hades inside the barn house. Wobble Gaming were in a 2-2 split, so Jins and Ragnar had to take on the entire team of Hades. They can't mess up because the rest of their teammates are not nearby. Now Hades knows it, so they push. But an amazing lineup by Ragnar and Jins helped Wobble Gaming wipe out Hades and eliminate them from the match.
Their struggles have been much worse, but this time 2 versus 4 for the barn house. They need to win this fight. They have the numbers advantage, but not for long. Nade goes flying on the first floor. Damage dished out. Jins extremely low. Ragnar around 60 HP, but Hades, they still have the upper hand. Devil, what he's trying to do? Jumps from the ledge, tries to find the frag, but Ragnar lines up too, looking for the third. They have the upper hand now. The third man from Hades is going to fall as well. And all of a sudden, Wobble, they make the ground beneath the players of Team Hades shake. Devil fighting for his life, but he's going to be sent back to hell. And Wobble Gaming, an amazing 2v4 conflict won.
Now the next battle takes place in Milta between Medal and Diesel Esports. Thunder from Medal gets the first knock on Diesel's Sham. But Diesel knows that Prince OG is the only one holding the triple story. The rest of his teammates are on the ridge beside Milta, so they slam. Now Prince OG here needs to pull off something spectacular, and he doesn't disappoint. He takes down Hollow, followed by Goku. The entire team of Medal then joins in and eliminates the last remaining player of Diesel, throwing them out of the match.
Utilities, and all they have to do is just be very, very patient. However, they're still far away from the zone. But guess what, Diesel? They got the knock on Shyam, and Prince, he's pretty much stuck as well. They need the entire team to come and back him up, because as of now, they're just pretty far off. And now Prince, he's going to try and hold on. He got one knock, and he gets another one. Prince OG, the man, the myth, the legend.
That is why they call him the OG. 3 players from Diesel, they are left bleeding, and Prince could be the solo reason for their demise. It's just down to Pari. The nade, it was a little bit overcooked, but now the rest of Metal Esports, they are closing in, and this might be the Diesel emptied out of the engine. Pari falls as well. Gokul got a revive at the last second, but Prince, he is still on the ledge, and maybe it is all over. Not a maybe, it is guaranteed. Everyone from Metal gets one.
Now back to GodLike. They decide that they don't want to hold the apartments, though it's quite center into the circle right now, but GodLike preferred the hills above. Edmino goes for scouting, but shots gets fired on him. He drives back to safety. Information gathered. There's a player holding the plank houses. But Edmino knows that this player might be the only one here, but his teammates are nearby, providing all the necessary covers. Edmino calls Punk to assist him. He wants more information, so he drives upwards again. But wait, he hears the sound of a vehicle. He moves upwards and notices the player holding the plank house retreating from the area. Edmino and Punk moves forward and captures the plank houses. Now the second circle forms. School and apartments are now at the center of it. GodLike are holding the apartment hills, and it's not a good position at all, especially when it's in the center of the circle. teams would be able to have multiple angles on them and they'll choke to death at some point. Now Punk knows it, and since they don't want to hold the apartments as well, they need to find a better position. So Punk takes Admino with him and enters school main. Jonathan and Simp were left to hold the hill for the time being. Now simultaneously, Rider Esports and Inferno Squad engages in a clash. Owen from Inferno Squad creates the opening by knocking out Fragger from Rider Esports. Next, Zyro messes up and gets taken down by Jatin. Rider Esports are now down to 2 men, both split from one another. Inferno Squad then slams onto Exist and takes him down, leaving Fame as the only one surviving for Rider Esports.
Well, I guess so, but Hell Inferno Squad having a little bit of run-in with Rider Esports, the team that has been wowing us thus far as the underdogs, but guess what, Rider? Looks like they're gonna drive away, but as soon as I say this, Fragger actually getting knocked off. Hell Inferno Squad, they get the first knock in, and they are gonna try and swamp their way onto his Rider now. The compound gets flushed through. Jatin, they also find Zyro. And Rider, just like that, they lose 2.
Overcommitment coming in from Rider Esports, so an awkward nade, but the second one will find contact. Exist needs to be careful. He has been very impressive with the nades, but that positioning was awkward for him. And Owen finds the third for his team.
Now the third circle forms and it goes towards the north. GodLike now begins the rotation. Punk scouts the buildings and the areas located towards the eastern side of Rozok, and once he's convinced that the area is clear, he calls the rest of his teammates. Admino, Jonathan and Simp holds it while Punk crosses the bridge and holds the other side. Now you might ask why he needs to hold the other side. Multiple benefits. Good for gathering information of multiple locations. It also acts as an off angle if the opponent tries to attack on his teammates, and if in case the next circle moves towards the north side, then they'll already have a good and safe position to play with. Now the fourth circle forms, and it moves away from Rozok. GodLike are now out of the circle and they need to move in. Admino, Jonathan and Simp rotates close to the river while Punk rotates from the other side. Now in the meantime, Medal slams onto the 2-story. But Inferno Squad's nade parade from the squad house above wrecked the entire team of Medal. The nades took down 3 of their players, leaving Legit as the only one surviving. Now on the other side, Cincinnati Kids and IQ 8-Bit engage in a rotational clash, but a careless and desperate move by IQ 8-Bit helps Cincinnati Kids wipe them off.
Now they've the run out.
Well, speaking of running out right now, Cincinnati Kids, they had a little bit of pit stop. They found members coming from 8-Bit. But unfortunately to say, the run overcomes true. Juicy, he's going to try and fend them off. Lock is down, Termi dropping down pretty low, and just like that, 8-Bit.
Now Reckoning Esports notices this clash, and they decide to third party. Cincinnati Kids didn't get the time to fully reset and were taken down eventually, though Aditya almost pulled off an unbelievable clutch.
Away, but now Cincinnati Kids need to realize that they are still in the same spot. 3 players down. There's a revive coming through behind that proc. Mastermind Mavericks on the other side can be a distraction for Reckoning, but Reckoning just keep on pushing. They want to clean house. They want to finish off Cincinnati Kids, and they might succeed as well as Aditya, the last man in a 1v3, takes down 2, looking for the last player. No HP on Aditya, takes down 3, hoping for a 1v4, but hope cannot set him free this time. Reckoning, they wipe out Cincinnati Kids.
Now the 5th circle forms and it moves further east. GodLike are now out of the circle again, but since Punk has a high ground on the other side, he gets clear vision of this ridge. And it looks clear. They decide to capture it. Punk remains behind for providing the cover fire if in case things go wrong, and the rest of the team moves forward and captures the entire ridge. But Admino spots smokes being deployed down the ridge. Grenades and shots were coming from the 2-story. It was a perfect opportunity to sandwich the team in the smokes. Admino doesn't hesitate. He moves closer, lobs a nade, spots Primoji, takes his shots and eliminates him. The rest of his teammates were already down and Admino seals it all for Altitude Esports. Now the 6th circle forms and it leaves half of the ridge GodLike were holding at out of it. Now they could still hold this ridge, but Punk, being one of the finest IGLs of India, finds out a much better alternative. But suddenly he gets knocked by Owen, and in the same time, Admino eliminates the last remaining player of Medal. Now Punk wasn't knocked in the open, so he was revived without any troubles. And as soon as he gets revived, GodLike begins the rotation. Admino moves first, goes up the ridge and scouts the area. Looks clear. The rest of his teammates arrive. Edmino moves further ahead and spots a player of Mastermind Mavericks. The rest of his teammates follow and Nate starts getting bombarded from both the teams. But Akshat from GodLike Reborn finds an angle on Adi, knocks him out. Jonathan lobs a grenade, knocks out Mako. He moves forward, spots Rixen, takes him out. Maxmud is the only one remaining from Mastermind Mavericks. He smokes around himself, but Jonathan throws an accurate nade onto the smoke and eliminates Maxmud. Now GodLike Reborn is their next challenge. Punk takes his shots, knocks out Avi. Edmino takes his shots, knocks out Ralph. GodLike's aggression is at their peak right now. Punk throws a grenade, takes out Rex. It's an unbelievable play coming in from GodLike. But Punk gets hit by a nade from Inferno Squad's Jatin. Now this will slow down GodLike. Inferno Squad makes their push. Jatin lobs another nade. It hits Simp this time. GodLike are now in a big trouble. But Jonathan makes a bold move. He drives his vehicle towards the players of Inferno Squad and runs over Jatin and Goten. But Owen takes down Jonathan. Edmino throws an unbelievable nade and knocks Owen out. Plus he confirms Jatin and Goten. Edmino moves up the ridge and he confirms Owen. Now this leaves Edmino as the only one surviving for his team. PMWI as the only one surviving for Inferno Squad. And Akshat plus Ralph surviving for GodLike Reborn. A 2v1v1 for the win.
The nade, he's hoping to find the contact with this, but PMW IGL too far away. I think GodLike, they've done all they can. They've got those 9 finishes. They've gotten themselves into the top 3. And this has to be the best case scenario.
Godmino, my God, Godmino. He's gonna try and make things work 2 versus 1 versus 1. It's not over yet. GodLike Reborn, they have the bounce back. They've lost all those finishes. And right now, all they have to do is find the one as well. Godmino! My goodness, Akshat dropping down so low. Circle still in their favor. They still have time. Admino, 2 nades, 4 smokes. Needs the perfect one. But right now, PMWI is going to be the bigger threat for Admino. And now, Akshat with their nade. Looking to find a scare, but Admino once more finds another nade, and that's going to be the push coming through. GodLike Reborn, they're in a lot of trouble. Admino, 1 more nade, sees a crate. He may be able to stock up to try to continue with this push. He needs more nades. He's going to be cooking up 1 more as well. He needs the perfect one. It looks good. Does he find the confirmation? Ooh, drops him down very, very low. But here he comes. The final push. Shotguns through the smoke. He knows he's behind the car. He's going to spray the legs. He finds 1. He's got the confirmation. Godmino is doing it.
5 eliminations. It's down to a 1v1, but information compromise. Shotgun. And he wins it. 12 eliminations for GodLike, and they take the chicken away from Hail Inferno Squad. Ran into the fight, the last team to run into the circle, but the shot calling, the confidence, and the aim of the players was just perfect, and those nades in the end.